First, this evening, let's queer up USA View. New study, percentage of U.S. adults identifying as LGBTQ plus doubles since 2012. A new survey conducted by Gallup reveals a significant increase in the proportion of U.S. adults identifying as LGBTQ plus. According to the survey, 7.6% of Americans now identify as LGBTQ plus, up from 5.6% in 2018 and 3.5% in 2012. The survey interviewed over 12,000 Americans across all 50 states and the District of Columbia. Bisexuals made up the largest group within the LGBTQ plus population, followed by gay individuals and then lesbians. The survey revealed that younger generations were twice as likely to identify as LGBTQ plus, with over 1 in 5 Gen Z adults and nearly 1 in 10 millennials identifying as such. Additionally, women were nearly twice as likely as men to identify as LGBTQ plus. The survey noted a significant increase since 2012 in the percentage of U.S. adults identifying as something other than heterosexual. Furthermore, recent studies show that Gen Z is increasingly embracing fluid labels like queer over traditional binary labels like gay or lesbian. Irrespective of what conservatives say or do, these facts signal progress for the LGBTQ plus individuals in America and highlight a cultural shift towards inclusivity and recognition of diverse sexual orientations and gender identities. Most striking, the results demonstrate the trend that younger Americans less fearful to express sexual orientations. The scientists suggest this is not based on changes in human sexuality, but rather the desire to be more authentic and expressing their sexuality. If the trend continues, LGBTQ plus centered politics in America will change drastically and very likely in favor of the queer community. This is really great news, everyone. Greg, what are your thoughts?
Well, I keep thinking that if only the concept of safety in numbers really translated to real safety for LGBTQ plus adults. I mean, the numbers are impressive, but I don't know. It does feel like good news, but we also know it's the kind of thing that makes the Heritage Foundation, makes their sludgy blood run cold, even colder than it is. And then we have this Project 2025 to deal with that's coming up. So it's good news, but I'm going to bring the dark cloud, if I may.
Bobby, what do you think?
I think it is a very important reminder for Gen Z and millennials that you must register to vote. I know a lot. I have spoken with some of my cohorts, including some of my very young cohorts in the activist space. Some of them are not very happy with with President Biden over a variety of issues. But what I'm going to say is this: you either choose the one guy who partially agrees with you, or if you don't vote or you vote third party, that means that you're going to find the person you hate most in the Oval Office. It is not, is it ideal? No. Should we have ranked choice voting? Should we have other parties? Sure. But we are stuck with a two-party system, and right now there are two people running for president, essentially. So please register to vote. Thank you.
Jasmine, what do you think?
I may be slightly younger, and I don't find this to be as surprising as I think it sounds. I was the only gay boy in my school, but the boys I made out with, clearly I wasn't the only one, right? I just think we're coming to a time where a lot more people are talking about it and embracing it. I think the generation of the people I went to school with are now having kids, and my generation is a lot more accepting, so they're teaching their kids to be open and honest. And I think it's just, as the world is evolving and changing, people are just admitting it more. They're more in a safe space, which is what's fueling the people, like you're saying. It's those people who are on the opposite end of that mindset who are now being so fearful, which is why they're putting so much politics and things in place in schools to kind of counteract the progressive thoughts that I think our generation is really moving.
James, you?
Yeah, I agree with a lot with what Jasmine is saying. I think also having a bit of a younger perspective, being a Gen Zer myself, we have, I think, it said we're twice as likely to identify as LGBTQ. And I think that comes from, again, there is some safety in numbers, I would say. Like for my generation, we are one of the first generations to be able to grow up with openly out queer elders. And so the influence of that, I think it makes it at least a lot more capable for someone to say, oh, wait, I'm not alone. I'm not weird or other for feeling this way. This is a normal thing that plenty of other people have experienced.
Right.
And I also think, too, what's fascinating to me is the shift towards more, I guess, like umbrella terms like queer, as opposed to identifying explicitly with, you know, gay or lesbian or bi. And I think that also speaks to my generation's shifting perspective on gender. I think because we've come to be raised with a broader interpretation of gender, labels like gay and straight are becoming a little bit less meaningful because a lot of us are questioning, like, does gender even exist, is a conversation I'm having with my peers now.
You know, I think Hollywood has also done a really good job over the past 10, 15 years in bringing content to the table. And I remember one of the shows I thought that made a really big difference was Glee. You had so many different personalities and kids from different walks of life. And so when you have a show like that and a kid can say, that's me or that's me, I have a friend that's different, I have a friend. So I really think Hollywood has helped lead this in a very, very positive way. And I think the more programming that we see where we have diverse families, same-sex couple parents, you know, transgender children. And I think as we develop and we see more shows like this, the kids that are actually experiencing this and the families that are sitting and watching this at home on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, as a family unit, we hope that they're all saying, you know what, it's all good, you know, to live your truth and just get out there and be proud of who you are. And it's really nice to think that the school systems now, especially we're talking about this a few days ago in Florida, it's okay to say gay again. And it looks like we're going to have a path forward where we can at least feel comfortable that our teachers are going to have a job tomorrow and that our kids can learn about gay to some extent. Well, they said instructions weren't allowed. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
As one of the elders, by the way, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.